In studying composition, one of the challenges is in writing a complete musical idea, a theme. Rather than just using a chord progression and repeating it, or a melodic idea and repeating it, having a concise, a clear musical statement is not so easy. It takes practice and experience. Now, if you've ever heard a person speak in a way, talk in circles, and they're not really clear about what they're trying to express, music can be the same way, but it can also be very clear and concise. Now, I'm going to play quite a few examples in this video. I'm going to only play the first part, and what I encourage you to do, whether mentally or literally with paper and pen, is try to describe as vividly as possible how you would describe the primary theme. And I'll announce the title as well as the key that it's in. And then for the second part of the exercise, think about where you would go from there. Would you write, what would the contrasting theme be? Would it be in a differing mood, and if so, what would it be? Would you have a bridge theme between the two? And those will be covered in future videos, and I'll play the follow-up theme, the contrasting themes, in the next video, as well as how to connect the two. But in this one, I'll just play the primary theme. And interestingly, and this highlights another point on the subject, none of these examples are actually sonatas. So a lot of the concepts about what's effective in music as far as contrasting keys and themes and moods can be seen in other pieces other than the actual form that we're studying. So because Chopin's music was so lyrical, I'm going to use this as an example just to highlight the beginning and end of a complete musical thought. And there oftentimes are an A and a B section, but when we're talking about a phrase, listen to how clear this is. So, his B-flat minor nocturne. Okay, that's the first part. It's pretty clear. It's ending on B-flat from a D-flat, clearly in the tonic, with the left hand. Okay, and so on. We're not going to look in depth anymore at this piece because I wanted to spend some time more on Brahms, just because I like the way that he developed his material quite a bit. He brought in a lot from earlier time periods, but in the Romantic styles and the mood, the emotion, and everything. So this is his A intermezzo, which is Opus 118, number 2, in A major. And if you want to think about the mood, the characteristics, how would you describe it? So that's the first part. So think about how it sounds to you, what mood is being expressed, and where would you go from there? So think about it. A major again. So for our second example, this is another intermezzo. This is Opus 117, number 1, in E flat major. there because the next section highlights another point that I'm going to illustrate in the next video. But we can see that the theme, where it stops, I'm going to play the first part again just so we can kind of see where the musical idea ends. That's part A, and then here's part B. So on. So think about how you describe it. Again, that's an E flat major, and then finally, this is a B minor Rhapsody by Brahms, Opus 79. And so on. And then, again, I want to highlight the next section in the next video. But the musical line, if you have the music, I encourage you to follow along because the phrasing is also important. So it's a complete musical idea. Let's look at one last. Actually, I think that's about it for this lesson. So. In the next video, we'll consider the contrasting theme as well as how to connect the two. So you should have kind of in your mind already the general idea of the primary and subordinate themes if you chose to write an introductory theme. If you didn't, you can still follow along and then go back and write the introductory theme if you choose to, or skip it or whatever. But so next we'll talk about those other sections.